Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Good, relaxed, peaceful.
Okay. So this is the third session. So just wanted to check in with you about how it's been for you so far, or if you've noticed any changes throughout this period.
I think it's been a good way of dealing with stress in a way that's not talking through, but just not asking me to think too much. So yeah, with the regards to the objective we set in the first about releasing, like managing stress, it's been really useful for that. And I think I'll definitely carry on the leg shakes outside of these sessions. Now I know the technique.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, as you say, we did set the intention at the beginning that it would be more about using TRE as a way to release stress from the body. And you mentioned that you can sometimes get a bit more stuck in your head when you're dealing with problems, and it's been quite a stressful time recently. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed being more in your body since doing TRE?
Yeah, I think recognising the boundaries of what's possible to go over in your mind. So I think now I'll turn to things like TRE more when I've reached those limits. And it's really good to just know this thing that your body does naturally, unlock it. I feel like I've learned some inside knowledge there.
That's great. One of the great things about TRE is it's like when you have a traumatic experience or a stressful experience where there's a lot of tension, your body it's trying to complete an action, but you don't complete the action because the energy is in your body and then it doesn't get released. So TRE is like that process of finishing that action. So that's why it becomes so like painful and distressing sometimes when we're just trying to do it in our head, but there's all this stuff trapped. So that's a way it's quite useful. Okay, do you have anything more you want to say about it before we go through the exercises again?
I think that's it. I've really enjoyed learning about it, and I found it really informative, and I just think it's really fascinating because it's one of those things at first you think, will I actually do this? So it's just really interesting that everybody's able to do that, and I can see, I'm interested to see if I can feel the shakes coming from any other point in my body at this time.
Okay, great. So we can have that as a bit of an intention for this session, seeing if we can move it up and add a few interventions. Okay, that's really useful. Thank you. All right, cool. So let's go through the exercise again. So the first one was the ankles.
My ankle's back today.
Oh yeah. How's your?
I think it's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, still obviously a little bit there, but this is no problem.
Yeah, you said that this one is actually quite helpful for your ankles, right?
Yeah, I think oh yeah, it's the one where I'm raising up on my toes that's harder.
Yeah, so just do what you can do. If you can't do one side, that's absolutely fine. We'll just do the other.
Okay.
So we want to get to 6 out of 10, and once you've got there, just shake it off.
Okay.
Lovely. So on the ankle that's stronger, we're doing the calf lift. So you can do that on the wall if that's easier. 1 foot off and just up and down with the heel. That's good.
Yeah, I don't think I could do the other one today. But
That's absolutely fine. Just shake the one off that you did, and then we'll go into the third exercise. So the third one is it's our hips. So we're sitting backwards. So again, you can have the ankle that hurts, that can be off the floor. And using the floor to support, you just sit back.
Am I going backwards and forwards?
Yeah, backwards and forwards. So as if you're sitting in a chair. How does that feel?
Yeah, fine.
Are you feeling it in your hips and your thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're doing it right then. Great. Cool. So shake that off. Lovely. And then the next one is the legs apart and going down to the middle, and then 3 breaths here. And then over to one side and 3 breaths here. You might want to open your legs a little bit wider, it might be a little bit easier. Yeah, great. 3 breaths the other side, good. When you've done 3 breaths there, you go to the middle and back, reach as far back as you can, and 3 breaths. And before you come up, when you finish those breaths, just come very, very slowly, let the arms hang, and then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, raise up with your head coming up last. That's great. Cool. So again, shake it off. The next one, we want our hands on our lower back, and
So that was spine stretch, right?
yeah, exactly. So you stay in the middle for 3 breaths. Good. And after those 3 breaths, you turn and look over one elbow for 3 breaths. And then the other elbow for 3 breaths. Okay, good. And then slowly release. Always everything is slow. And then the wall. That's the next one. So what you want to do is you want to bend your knees. You want to always be able to see your toes. And stay in that position till you get to your 6 out of 10. And keep breathing. You're shaking a little bit, which is good. We're already starting the shaking. When you feel like you're at your 6 out of 10, you can shuffle up the wall a bit. But we want to be in this position for, sorry, that's yours, 5 minutes. So we're staying against the wall for 5 minutes. You can take breaks when you need them, but just try to go back when you're ready. How's that feeling?
Yeah. But I'm still doing it for 5 minutes. So.
5 minutes in total. So we want 5 minutes against the wall in preparation. But as always with TRE, don't force yourself and listen to your body. And if you want to take a break, you can. So we'll just do that for a couple more minutes. When you're ready, you can go back in. So you've already got quite a good shape there. Yeah. Does it feel good?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really felt very strongly on how the shaking feels. You know, like it just is.
Okay, so it's not
She said
necessarily
some
positive or
people
negative.
feel it really, like, feels really good.
Yeah. But that's not been your experience. Okay.
Interesting, though.
I guess it depends where it's coming from. Like, I guess for some people there's a lot of like tightness in certain areas, so when it shakes it's like, oh, this feels
Relieving
good.
that,
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready to go to the next one? So when we do the one on the wall, what we try and do before we come up is to hang our arms, and again, like the previous one, to just come up very slowly. That's good. Shake it off. Okay. The next one. So this is the last one.
Yeah.
There's two components to the last exercise. So, okay, first of all, we start by grounding ourselves. We can take a moment for that. So, the first part is lifting the hips, which you want to do for a minute. And as soon as you've done that, you go in to the next part, which is bringing the legs together. So I know that before we did them as two separate ones, like this was one, and then moving the legs together was a second one. So that's some feedback I've got, that we should do them as one. So that's one exercise. So if you could start by getting into position.
So just...
Great. Yeah, when you're ready, when you feel grounded, lift up. And that's for 1 minute. That's good. I can already see the shaking, which is what we want. Make sure you breathe. Okay. And you're welcome to bring your hips down when you're ready. Okay, great. So now if you could have your legs as flat as possible and then start to bring them in slowly. Okay, great. So we've already got that shake. How's that feeling?
Good.
Where does it feel like it's coming from?
So hips, back of hips.
Back of hips, okay. Okay, could you take some deep breaths for me? Has the breathing changed how the tremor feels, where it's coming from?
Yeah. Feels more freed up.
Okay.
Like it's rising a little bit. Rather than just the hips.
Okay, nice. Which is what we wanted, wasn't it? To rise it up. Okay, cool. So breathing's always welcome. Deep breaths can help to move things up, or to just change the nature of the shaking. Okay, that's good. try and remember to keep your eyes open. If you can start to just have a look around the room. Notice things you can see, patterns, colours. Noticing anything that's familiar to you. Just staying engaged with the room. Good. Okay, lovely. And where are those shakes now? Are they in the same place? Or have they moved?
So you said shakes can come from like anywhere, top of north of your hips. Like you can feel shakes from your tummy.
You can feel shakes from your tummy. It's often like around the spine, but not necessarily. You can get like, sometimes people like move their shoulders. You can have like a real whole body sort of experience. But yeah, I would say for most people it's somewhere in the like, I don't know, chakra mapping.
Where do you find it originates?
So I was in my hips for a long time, and then I moved very, very slowly up to around my midpoint.
Belly, yeah. I think I can feel it coming from higher, I'd say like belly area now.
And what you're instinctively doing is really great, because when you hold the area where the shakes are originating, it can help to move them up as well. So that is one of the interventions I was going to give you, but you did it yourself, which is great. Okay, I feel like you've been shaking for a little while now, so I'm going to invite you to have a break. So stretch your legs, maybe stretch your arms. Do what feels good. If you want to shake your body, if you want to massage your body, whatever your body needs in this moment.
Should I go back into it?
If you're ready to, yeah.
Okay.
You could also put your soles flat on the, yeah, exactly. So it's looking to me quite jerky now. Is that how it feels to you?
I think I find with my soles on the feet I'm in an awkward position to hold. Like I can't just release my legs. It was like last time when I thought you were asking me to like open my legs as wide as possible with my feet on the ground. Like that just feels like that's weird, right? Because it's like bending at your ankles.
Is it uncomfortable on your ankle?
No,
no,
okay. No.
I mean, you can play around with it. Whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
If it feels better to have your soles together, absolutely.
Well, I feel like thinking about the first session we did to now, I'm like, my goodness, the shifts in my life have been crazy.
Oh, really?
It's all because of TRE.
Well, it's hard to say, isn't it? But it might have had been a factor. Who knows?
Yeah. No, it's definitely an interesting period to do it over, I think. Because I feel like I've felt the full range of life situations in... How long it hasn't been...
It hasn't been that long.
We haven't done it...
It's been like under 3 weeks. Yeah. We've done 3 sessions over a little over 2 weeks.
Okay.
So have you, in this time, have you had experiences of feeling overwhelmed and then done TRE as a response in the moment, or is it mainly during sessions that you've done it?
I can't lie. I remember after the first session, I definitely did it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if it's generally feeling overwhelmed a lot of the time, but I think it was just like I was lying down and I just tried it. And then since, I think the sessions have been quite close together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I haven't. No.
Something's happening. Something's changing. It seems, I don't know, more rhythmic.
Yeah, I really think there's a lot of it to do, like, you know, when I go like that, it's way more smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when your feet are together,
Yeah.
is the origin of the tremor, is it in a different place?
I just feel like my muscles are more jerky.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot, the jerkiness is like, the shakes are still coming from here, but my muscles are just generally jerky because it's a more awkward position, is what it feels like.
I see. So this one's a more awkward position?
No,
Or the
this
other?
one.
Oh, right, okay, I see.
Because I can feel, it's like, you know, when somebody asks you to hold her.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do what feels better for you.
Yeah.
So I see that you're touching your belly, which is good. Maybe just try and like massage, give it a bit of a rub, a bit of a stroke. See if that makes any difference to the type of shake. Yeah, something's happening. It seems from here it looks a little bit more bouncy, I'd say. Is
Yeah.
that how it feels?
I feel like I can feel it from my heart.
Oh, cool.
Is that a heavy thing to say?
No, not at all. That's great. Like your
like little threads.
anatomical.
Yeah.
That's lovely. I like that.
I have a lot of heart energy to release.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I fall in love a lot. Very dramatically.
So when you fall in love, did you say traumatically or dramatically?
Dramatically.
Dramatically. And where in your body do you feel this love?
In my heart.
So it's in your heart.
Yeah.
Do you feel it anywhere else?
The love?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like my fingertips?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what it feels like
The
physically.
love. It's like a tidal wave. I get swept up in. I actually think, you know what? I mean, this is, probably we talk about this off camera, but that's psychic. I think I get it now. Like, I enjoy it. I get. I'm like, this is what dating is. Like, it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be that. So it's just like, this is a nice experience. Like, oh my gosh, I'm falling in love again.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It feels good.
it feels good, and it doesn't. You know, I'm like, there's so much complexity outside of that in life, and so much other ways to be loved and held and seen. It's like, yeah, you don't have to be at the mercy of the shifts in that area, or like completely. Just like witness it, just like witness each part of the process. Yeah, I think I really needed to take that step like this, and I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, it sounds like you've managed to work through a lot of things over the past few weeks. So just, I feel like we're going a little bit in our head. So let's step back into the body. Let's go back into how you're experiencing your body in this moment.
I'd like to feel the shakes in my shoulders. I don't know what that looks
I haven't experienced it yet.
Okay.
So, and I've been doing it for
For
like
a while.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily something that will happen soon.
Right.
It's just building up practice to. Oh, but you are shaking. Are you doing that on purpose?
I don't know. I'm not.
Well, you're doing it, so.
Right.
But
Sorry.
how does it feel for you? Does it feel like
No,
it's
it
coming
feels like it's coming from my shoulders.
from? Okay, great. Well, maybe you've got there.
Maybe I'm the best TRE student ever.
Maybe.
You're like, this is not something that you can go out of in.
Yeah, it's not a competition. It's your own personal
It's a
journey.
competition.
Okay, I'm going to invite you to have another break. Just enjoy that rest.
When we do, is it pranayama at the end?
Well, so I've been calling it Shavasana,
Shavasana.
and I've been told that it's not
Oh,
Shavasana.
yeah,
It is,
yeah.
but it's the integration period.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to refer to it as.
That
today.
regresses me. I feel like I'm in nursery and it's nap time.
Do you not find it pleasant?
No, that's
No.
amazing.
Mm.
When else would I want to be in my life but nursery nap time? Like,
So true.
just.
Okay, that's. You said the word regress, so I was like thinking it was a bad thing. But
like regress, like yeah. Oh, it's good to regress, right? Sometimes like childhood regression. If it's good regression.
Well, after you've finished your rest, which
Yeah.
you can take as long as you need, once you're ready to go back into shaking, we'll do one more round and then you can have nap time.
Yay!
Okay, so it's very bad. It seems like it's going. It's from the right side and then it's sort of coming to the left a little
Yeah.
bit.
We do have scoliosis as well.
Sorry.
No, that's valid. I have like a curvy spine.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
yeah. So my posture sometimes like
Ah, okay.
yeah. Have you noticed?
No, I haven't. I've noticed that you sound a bit like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just thought.
Oh
That was
right.
just your-
How I stand.
Yeah.
Fair. Good. I need to. I always need to think about my posture actually. It can be your posture. Anyone's posture can be bad if they don't think about it.
Yeah. We all have habits that we fall into.
Well, our lives are so like.
Yeah. But TRE is really good for being in the body,
Yeah.
and if you have that practice of
Yeah.
coming home to your body,
Yeah.
and it's just easy to notice those things.
Yeah.
Okay, can I invite you to take some deep breaths here? Good. Okay. Is that changing anything with the tremor?
It feels like moving it a bit more upwards. Like I feel it coming. So it's because when I go back into it, I think it starts from the hips, but having that breath kind of moves it, frees it up a little bit. Yeah, and it feels like another energy release. So maybe the shakes are a bit lesser when I'm breathing because it's like another way for energy to leave my body. I do feel it up here.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, exactly. It's just, it surprised me because we were talking about it and then you were doing it immediately. When I said, don't expect it. Oh, it's happening.
But I mean,
here we are.
It's kind of like the legs tremors, right? You're talking about it and it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes
I got it.
it does feel that, like,
Yeah.
you're talking about your body and then it responds like, hello, yes.
I'm glad you said in the second session when you said, like, first time I did it, I thought, am I just doing this? Because I felt like that, but yeah, I didn't want to sit and kiss you. Were like, why are you just doing that? That's not how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah, yeah. It is, it's just an odd thing. It's
Yeah.
like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Am I just pretending?
How did you first hear about TRE?
I was doing a coaching course, embodiment coaching,
Yeah.
and it was just something that someone mentioned because there was lots of people in the embodiment world, and then my therapist as well did TRE, so it just felt like there were all these signs, and then I looked it up and there was a course that was like a couple of weeks later, and I was like,
nice.
like next to my house, so I was like,
Wow.
okay, I guess the universe wants me to do TRE.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, how's that feeling?
Good.
Could you try raising your arms over your head and take some deep breaths there and see how that feels?
I think I feel more free in it today.
Okay, that's good to hear. Do you know why that is?
Just maybe relaxed into it more.
Mm-hmm.
Have a better idea of what to expect, and like less just feel freer in surrendering to that.
That's great.
Also less stressed, so
Yeah, that helps.
gosh, I was talking so much rubbish last time.
That's fine. It was really useful for my supervision.
Yeah, sometimes it's actually good, you know, when you're getting feedback and stuff, to have these are things that could have gone better. You know?
100%. That's what you learn the best from.
Yeah.
If everyone's like, oh, it's amazing, you did great, then you don't learn anything.
Yeah. Would you say I'm the best case study?
Yes. Definitely. When you feel ready, you can take your rest. Okay, great. So I'm going to get you a pillow. There you go. And a blanket. Okay, you comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm going to be here quietly for 5 minutes. start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Slowly bring your awareness to outside of your body, hearing the sounds inside the room, hearing the sounds outside the room. And when you feel ready, you can open those eyes. And again, when you feel comfortable to, you can roll to the side and use your hands to help push you up into a seating position. Okay. So, how are you feeling now?
Relaxed. Very like like something's been released from my body.
Excellent.
Whoa, like present. Like, you know, when you have those moments of awareness where you're like,
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's the integration period. So it's really important to have that after a shake, because it can just sort of recalibrate things.
Okay, yeah. I hear that.
Okay. So this is our last session. Do you have any questions for me at this stage?
How, I know there's no set time, but like if you were to recommend, how often would you say is useful to use TRE?
I would recommend like 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Every day is optimal, but then it's just so hard to actually
Fit
fit it in, and then you can kind of develop some guilt around it and blah blah blah. So I feel like a couple of times a week is a good amount, because you keep it consistent as part of your practice, and it's something that's fresh in your mind when you have those moments where you're like, I'm feeling really overwhelmed, I need to do something. Yeah, but I mean, it's something that you can figure out as well with your own practice, what works best for you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anything more you'd like to say before we finish?
Just that I think it's going to definitely be something that I continue, and it's been a very interesting process to go through, so, and learn about.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you have any questions at any point, just contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm going to be running some groups soon as well, so if you wanted to attend a group, you're very welcome.
What would a group process look like? Is it the same things but just with more people?
Yeah, exactly. It's I suppose as a practitioner, I have to be aware of everyone, so it's like short interactions and checking in with people, and then when I'm not checking in and observing people, the rest of the group are just sort of in there shaking. So as a group member, when I've been in groups, there's just a lot of time where you're kind of doing your own thing, and then maybe the teacher at some point will notice something and ask you a question or comment on it. But it's a whole other skill that I'm going to be developing. So it would be really helpful for me if you wanted to attend, but up to you, no pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.